Hello and welcome. Do you know what is social conflict? What causes social conflicts and how social conflicts can be resolved? This is a very big issue in society, and this question has been asked in civil service examination 2022. See, social conflicts in society is very widespread, and researchers try to understand its reason. So there are several reasons involved. There are several causal factors, economic, because economic injustice can cause social conflict. It could be cultural fact differences, that you are from outsider insider, they norms violates and all. And then there's come differences. You eat some particular thing, I do not eat, and then differences is there. Likewise, there are historical reason also, that you made a slave, now we will fight back. See this thing, the mindset. So there are political reason also, that your tendency is to overpower us, authoritarianism, bad spirit, corruption. Many reasons could be there. So economic, political, cultural, historical, many reasons are there. But being a student of psychology, we will emphasize psychological reason. And what are the psychological reason? See, if we look at theories, that what theory have been put forward for this thing, then very important theory is social identity theory. And social identity theory says that we generally take identity of our group. The moment we take identity of a group, because we are part of a group, we do not take, it is not like we 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 have a choice. We are born in a group, for example caste group, so you are there. Regional group, any kind of group, you know people speaking particular language, like that. So generally we identify with our group, and this identification, psychologically speaking, can cause several things. One of the important factor that leads to social conflict is that in group favoritism. In group favoritism is what? That research indicates that we are not neutral. If there are people, that some people are from our own group and other are from other group, we generally favor, knowingly, unknowingly. So uh, Henry Tasfel, identity, social identity theory. Social identity theory have revealed this thing, that it may cause favoritism. In group favoritism, in group. So this is also a factor. Getting. Social identity theory also reveal that we drive our esteem from our social group by connecting with this thing, that I am this caste, I am this, I am Catholic, I am not Protestant, I am Protestant, not like that. And we generally, in order to maximize the self-esteem, we exaggerate that point, and then it lead to intergroup differences. Intergroup intergroup difference, which in turns generate stereotypes. Because this favoritism, this intergroup differences in mind, because it serves several purpose, this thing. So this favoritism will give birth to several things that causes social conflict. So social conflict you can explore. This is one of the important thing. It causes several things. Social identity and theory is a common thing that can cause several things. Now, second point you can take, that this is one of the important things. This is realistic conflict theory. This one has been given by Tasfel, Henry Tasfel. I think he has given this theory uh, along with other person. I will write the name, and then realistic conflict theory. This has been given by what? This has been given by Muzaffar Sharif. Realistic conflict theory says that when we compete over limited resource, that leads to conflict. When there is competition, when we compete for limited resource, then intergroup conflict arises. People become prejudices. Competition beats prejudices. So this is that's Sharif theory. In 1960, I think he has given this theory by conducting the Oklahoma study. So we are analyzing the things from psychological perspective. So this theory also say this thing. And third one, norms violation theory. Norms violation theory. D. Reader Tripathi etc. at all. What is norms violation theory? I hope you have understood this thing. I will also let you know that research finding also support this view. These are not the only theory, because there are research finding that support views this thing. For example, I will discuss one by one. First, let me discuss this thing. Norms violation theory says this thing that in group, when someone violates some norms, suppose Hindu violates the norms of the Muslim, suppose, or that there is festival and then azan, and then suppose some differences come, then other group also become reactive and they also violate norms violation. This leads to conflict. That because when we live in society, different social group may have different norms. So when norms are violated, other group feel threatened and they react, getting, and they may react in an exaggerated way, and then a spiral thing may start, getting, the chain reaction may start. So this is the basic thing. And even when this theory further says that person who violates the norms may also feel threatened and may start doing something that further escalate the things. Non-violation theory is a framework to understand that how social conflicts arises. So first one, social identity, and now research indicate that yes, we uh, favor our own group. This research has been conducted across cultures. It is not like that only literate people do this thing. This is for all, more or less, knowingly and unknowingly. So social identity theory have support for the view, and it as well. And one another person is there. I have noted the name because I do not remember the name and I always forget that name. Turner. His name is Turner. So Turner, Andy Taswell and Turner. Yes, this is the name. Not norm violation theory. Norm violation is D. Reader and Tripathi. Likewise, realistic conflict theory has got wider, as a research support. That competition, how competition breed prejudice, Oklahoma studies is there to support this thing. Norms violation theory has also got very wide research support that when one norms of a group is violated, other group also reacts. So social conflict arises of varieties of reasons, and there is a mix of the reason. Sometimes this could be the reason, sometimes other could be reason, sometimes combination is the reason. So you cannot say that social conflict has only one reason. Get it? Now question is this, that if this is the thing, this is the situation, how resolution of this thing could be done, and what are the psychology behind that? Getting, because being a student of psychology, we will emphasize psychological factor. So I hope with the help of the theories and research you will write this thing, and then you should go for its resolution. See, it has been asked in 20 markers, so resolution, resolution of conflicts. How? How this could be that? That psychologists and sociologists have worked out in combination with other researchers and theorists some mechanism, and three important mechanism I will discuss. That first is what? Uh, negotiation. Negotiation. You know this thing, that when there two parties or two or more parties are fighting. For example, Sri Lanka, Singla, and Tamilian were fighting on many issues. Ethnic issues. In Northeast, in everywhere you go, you will find that this negotiation is a technique, is a method that is commonly used. And in negotiation, what is that? The two party will discuss and the issues and try to find out the solution. So here, this thing that what is the interest? Both parties try to maximize their interest, and they try to arrive at some common thing where both party get benefited. Means it is not a zero sum game. They try to arrive at a point where both party feel benefited. So obviously, both party will need to compromise something also. Getting? So okay, you will take this area, and now you will leave this area. So now suppose the maximization of this area, now some those living in this area, for example, will go in that one. Social conflict negotiations have been tried several times, during partition. See this thing that failed, but generally it works. Getting negotiations. So negotiation is a technique where now you can say that what is the psychology behind? Psychology, of course, when you are negotiating, you should be empathetic. Party should be empathetic, should have communication skill. Should be icebreaker. They should have icebreaker means they should be able to break the ice. They should take initiatives. So they require leadership also. So icebreaker are really leadership. Some resolutions is arrived through negotiations. So who negotiates? Differences are so many differences are there. So leadership are developed, and they a lot of psychology of leadership is involved. Communication is involved. Problem solving is involved. Getting? So second one you can say is after negotiation. We can think of just a second. I will mediation. Mediation is also important technique. When two parties do not trust then each other, there are trust deficit. When they are reluctant to talk, then dialogue is not possible. Then a neutral party, third party, try to mediate where both party could trust. So mediator, for example, in Sri Lanka, Norway offered the mediation on some issues. Some mediators are uh, invited, and obviously then in the era of globalizations, under the influence of UN and all, in different countries you'll find the mediation is used. So third party involvement is there. Two parties do not trust, struggling, they are fighting over something, then mediations come. Okay, they try to convince both party to arrive at a particular solution, because See, mediation is a thing that is important when both there is trust deficit in two parties, to one more party you can say. So mediator is a third party, neutral party. What is psychology involved in this one? Mediator should be trustworthy. Second, mediator should have a capability to convince. Mediator should have capacity of leadership. Mediator should have should appear unbiased and should communicate openly and should be a logical mind individuals, most importantly leader, getting, and he should convince both parties in a way that appear beneficial to both parties, and for that he may use some tools and techniques. For example, extended contact techniques, that both parties should discuss the thing, live together and discuss the thing. So it is not like that then on hot table both are arguing. It is not more about it is not about argument. It is about sensitization to both parties, that what their feelings and all. So it is that reversing the party from this thing, there is so-called sensitivity training in organizational setup. You just see the thing, then what are their concern, and you see this thing, then what are their concern. So just role reversal you should do. How a Pakistani would think about Indian, for example, how a Muslim would think about Hindu, for concern. So just changing the role and then try to uh, make the party realize that you should see the things from both perspectives, and then you will arrive at that. Anyway, psychology is obviously this one. And so negotiation, mediation, these are important technique of conflict resolution. And one technique is very uh, restorative justice. When you say that this group has been target of atrocities, जैसे हम कहते हैं ना कि that in India is that certain caste were always deprived of many things. So we should give some healing treatment, or healing measures, that they should restore the balance, try to restore the balance. If there is imbalance in the society, then there will always be conflict. See, this thing in power structure is imbalanced, there will be conflict. There is economic injustice, there will be conflict. So if there is uh, some sort of imbalances, and uh, difference is very wide, disparity is very wide, then these factors will lead to social conflict. Suppose some group have been target of historical injustice, unfair treatment, so it is said that they should be given some restorative justice, means now justice should be restored. Once system become rational, then many of the conflict caused by irrational things, caused by have not and have differences, will gradually fade. And for some time you could give extraordinary treatment to the sufferer. For example, it is said that a reservation is given on this behalf, that they have been oppressed class, backward class, so called. So these are the reason usually given, that is put forward. So women empowerment, this should be given because they have been target of atrocities and all. So there should be, the gender should be given some extra privileges. So this is the argument generally given. So these are three very powerful method of conflict resolution. But this is not the only thing. There could be varieties. I have highlighted this thing, that when you have a sense of what is the psychology behind this thing, when you have sense of injustice, that lead to frustration, and frustration lead to aggression. It could be latent aggression. If suppose I am not powerful, I will have hatred towards you, I will have prejudices towards you. So that is also anger. That is also anger. When I will get some time, I will react. So I hope you are getting my point. So these three methods are resolutions. So now things are very simple. See this thing, that what are the factors that causes social conflict. We should discuss that there are several varieties of factors, but these are important psychological factors that you should underscore under the light of 2-3 theories I have discussed, and that is well supported by research also. And now the common mechanism that are used to resolve conflict, you should highlight and underscore the psychology involved in that. If you do this thing, you will get marks. So I hope. मुझे इतना बताने में टाइम लगा है ना, आपको लिखने में तो मिनट्स लगेंगे, है ना, मुझे बताने में हो सकता है एक्सप्लेन करने में टाइम लगा, आपको कितना टाइम लगेगा, 7 मिनट्स, 5 मिनट्स, 6 मिनट, आपको तो पॉइंट्स ही ज़्यादा हाईलाइट कर देना. तो डोंट फॉरगेट टू हाईलाइट द साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर इन्वॉल्व. अदरवाइज क्वेश्चन तो जन सोशियोलॉजी में भी ऐसा आता है. आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड. मिलेंगे अगले वीडियो में और बात करें किसी और मॉडल आंसर पे. थैंक यू.